Hi, I'm Gail and welcome back to Gail's Low Carb Recipe Ideas. And my blog is lowcarbrecipeIdeas.com. I hope you go and check out some of my recipes there. Anyway, we are going to make a lemon pound cake. It's very, very good. I was just wanting some treat this week and I have so many lemons in the fridge, so I thought I've got to make something and I wanted to share with you. And then we're also going to have a lemony whipped cream topping for it. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. So I've got myself a bowl. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add in 3.5 ounces of cream cheese, or it is 98.4 grams. Now, I freeze my cream cheese when I get it on special. I can't use it up that quickly, so I freeze it. So I just got my husband to cut the amount off I wanted. I weighed it and then I just microwaved it just to soften it up. So I've got the cream cheese in there, 3.5 ounces. Then we're going to add in 4 tablespoons of melted butter, which is about 56.8 grams. So we're going to put that in and we're going to use our electric mixer and we will mix this together just to make sure it's smooth. Now I'm going to add in, I'm using powdered mixture of monk fruit and erythritol. And I powder it, I put it in a coffee grinder or my little Ninja machine and I powder it up nice and fine. So I've got 3/4 cup of my sweetener, which is about 150 grams. So we're going to put that in there. Oh, I still got some stuck in the bowl here. There we go. So I'm going to mix this up and then we'll add the other ingredients. Okay, now we're just going to add all the other ingredients. Now what I've got is I have zest of 1 lemon. So we're going to throw that in there. And we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, which I squeezed from the lemon. And 1 teaspoon of lemon extract. So I'm just going to, it's Clubhouse is what I'm using. I don't have much left, but it's pure lemon juice. I'm just going to put a teaspoon in. Then we're going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of liquid stevia. And the brand I use is Now. I quite like it. I like to mix it with my erythritol or monk fruit or whatever, just to eliminate some of the bitterness. So we're going to mix this in. Now I have 4 eggs, room temperature, and I'm just going to use them, put them in one at a time and mix them. Our next egg. Just take your spatula, go around the edges because there's some along the edges that hasn't been mixed well. And I'm just going to use the beater for one more time just so that I get these nice and smooth. So I'm just going to set that aside for a minute. We're going to bring in just my small bowl here, my almond flour, which I have 1.5 cups or 144 grams, and we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I use Himalayan salt. So I'm just going to, I guess I better get a different spoon, that one's wet. Just mix the baking powder and salt and almond flour together, and then we're going to add it to our liquid. Okay, we'll set there. And we're going to put in our almond flour, and let's mix this all up. Get it from the sides, and I'll use my electric beater. Okay, so we'll just take the spatula, go around, make sure it's all mixed up nicely. Now I've got a loaf pan here. You don't have to use a loaf pan, you can use a cake pan, that's up to you what you want to do. This one's 9.25 by 5.25. So what I did was I put a little bit of butter in the bottom and on the sides, and that helps stick the parchment paper. You don't have to use the parchment paper, it's just I just thought it was easier to pull it out after it's baked by having the parchment paper in there. So we're just going to pour this in. Plus it helps press it down so that the batter doesn't go underneath the parchment paper along the edge. I like to clean my bowls out completely. I don't like to waste anything. There we go. So we'll just give it a little shake. Make it all nice and even. And I've got the oven on at 350, and it's going to bake, that tastes good, between 30 to 40 minutes. I'm going to keep an eye on it, and I'll be back with you. So my lemon pound cake is cooling down. We're going to make some whipped cream icing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a cup of whipping cream, and this is the one that I'm using. So we're going to beat this till it's starting to get thick and fluffy, and then we'll add our sweetener and a little bit of lemon juice. So it is getting thicker, and while I'm using the beater, I don't want to do it on the video because it's so noisy, I'm going to gradually add in my 1/4 cup of powdered erythritol monk fruit combination. So we'll get that started. Now I have a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, which I want to add in. So I'm just going to put the beater on for a minute while I'm doing it. Okay. Looks delicious. So I took the rind of a lemon, and I'm just going to put this in and just fold it into my whipped cream. And that's it. Now, if I was having company over, I would totally put all this on that whole loaf, but because it's just my husband and I'm just going to put a little bit on one of my slices. And maybe that's what you're wanting to do too, because I just keep this in the fridge, and then when I want some on the cake, the loaf, you just spread some on. So it took 40 minutes to bake, and the nice thing about this is that I can, because I use the parchment paper, you just have to pick it up and take it out of the pan. And there's my loaf. Right there. Doesn't that look lovely? So here is my low-carb lemon pound cake. It's delicious, and it's got the lemony whipped cream on top. It's delicious. It's delicious without the whipped cream, just by itself, or with. It's really, really good. Nice and moist. And just store your whipped cream in the fridge and put it on when you like. Unless you have company, then you can dress the whole thing and serve it. Anyway, click the button below to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel. I'd like that, and like my video, and go to lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com and try some of my other recipes. I'd love to hear from you, and you all take care and be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.